Right, catching up with Jamie Bartlett here at Alabar for, well, some exciting news. Firstly, Jamie, thanks for joining me again.
Thanks for having me.
Industry Excellence Awards, sponsored by Entain, were recently announced, and in one of the categories, dedication to breeding, you were one of the 3 finalists. Firstly, congratulations. That must be a huge thrill.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, it's pretty cool. I'm very proud of myself, to be fair. So.
Dedication to breeding for anyone in New Zealand, it's a badge of honour because, what breeding, both codes, and it is both codes. It's massive to be a standardbred person here at such a young age. You must have been rapt when you got nominated.
Yeah, definitely. I can't thank Graham and all the other past managers I've had that have taught me everything I know, and I think it's a big thrill to get recognised for the work that you do, and I think it's important for the young people too, because it is a hard time breeding horses, definitely. There's a lot of bad days along with good days, but yeah, it's really nice to get recognised.
It's an amazing roller coaster, and we'll get onto sales and things like that in a minute, and I've been fortunate enough to see it. But at such a young age, to be recognised, and like I was at Matamata yesterday, Waikato studs and all of these other studs, standardbred stud recognised alongside of these, it's a huge achievement. Graham, Alabar, well done to those, but it's great recognition for what harness racing do as well.
Yeah, definitely. The thoroughbred industry is massive compared to the standardbreds, so it's really cool that I can, be nominated with a few thoroughbred people. It's pretty incredible.
When did you start in the game? Like you said, Graham and a few of your managers, you're 22 years of age. When did you leave school at a very young age and just start it?
Yeah, I left school at 15 and did work experience here actually, and then I moved on to Abderry, which is a quarantine horse facility down the road, and that was just temporary work, and then got the call from Graham that a staff member had left, and I took the job, and so I've been here for almost 7 years now, so yeah.
And your role has changed over the journey. I think our first interview, you'd basically been at that stage announced as the yearling sale manager, and Graham pushed you forward to do an interview and suggested that was about 3 years ago. Yeah.
So pretty much, I think it's been 3 or 4 years since I started the yearling manager kind of role, but now I've been promoted to the Bloodstock manager, which is pretty much looking after every horse on the farm, and I love doing it, so it's awesome, and I wouldn't be where I am without the opportunities I'm given, and Graham's given me a lot of room to grow myself and given me the opportunities to be able to work forward and get where I am.
Well, and that's one of the reasons I want it. It is a great achievement. Yourself, Joe Stevens, I think, has been nominated as well, and I'll catch up with Joe later on tonight. But did you left school at 15? Did you not like school? Or was it just you wanted to do something with horses and a job come about? What's said about this course?
Yeah, so I've always been into horses. Standardbreds, not really. I always thought they were ugly and much preferred the fast thoroughbreds because I had some of my own. But a family friend actually knew Wayne McNamara that was here, and helped get me some work experience here, and I always knew that I wanted to leave and do horses. It's not that I didn't like school, I just, the other option was being a vet, but I didn't like school that much. So always loved it and always wanted to do something with the horses. Didn't necessarily think it was going to be standardbreds, but now that I'm in the game I love it, and
And you are entrenched in the game. Was breeding on the radar, or was it when you left you weren't sure? Was it the breeding the part that was interesting you at that time, or it was just dead set working with horses?
It was more strapping, pretty much. Horses is what I was keen to do, the racing side of it more. But I love the foals, and wouldn't want it any other way.
And you've seen a lot of change here. The stallions would have been here when you first started. Of course, there's no stallions standing here now, and it's gone to a breeding barn. Have you enjoyed the evolution, if you like, of Alabar New Zealand and the changes that have come about? Because you've probably seen quite a few changes.
Yeah, no, everything has changed quite a bit here. The stallions were here at one point, and I was lucky enough to handle them as well. So, got taught to handle them quite young, and that taught me a lot, dealing with the colty yearlings and stuff like that. So that was pretty cool. But yeah, it has changed a heap, and I'm kind of just going with the flow. But I think it's changed for the better in ways. But yeah.
Do you pinch yourself sometimes at how things are changing?
Yeah, definitely.
Like you're a Bloodstock manager now, like that's it's pretty cool to have that on your CV next to your name, and it's going to stand you in good stead because you're only young. Travel or anything along those lines, is that on the radar for you down the track? I know you've been on holidays, but I mean travelling and potentially working somewhere overseas, is that something that interests you maybe at some point?
Yeah, definitely. I've been thinking about travelling a lot, and I'd love to work in America at some of those big studs, and where the stallions are as well, which is what
Diamond Creeks and those sort of ones.
Yeah, I'd love to go there for a season and give that a go, and just get to know more things around the world that I can bring back here and put into my own work. And
you build up a good relationship. Nigel Fahey would have been here, I think, looking after stallions, and he went to Diamond Creek and thoroughly enjoyed it. I'd imagine that's where that itch that's got to be scratched might have come from.
Yeah, definitely. And Nigel used to work here, so he taught me actually. We were looking after a few yearlings. That's when we started getting back into it, and he taught me, and he said to me, you could do this one day, and that's when it lit up, and then I was chuffed.
And now it's changing, and you look at Nigel, he's managing one of the best studs, I'm going to say, in New Zealand, let alone harness racing studs, but one of the best studs in New Zealand at Brecon Farm. So there are so many opportunities. I said there before about the highs and lows of yearling sales and weanling sales, and and mares and foals unfortunately dying. It is a tough game. This game, isn't it? Like, it can be so cruel to people, and so many people invested in it, but it can also be such a buzz. Yeah,
definitely. It's very hard when something goes wrong and something dies, and we all get attached here, and they're like our family, there's over 100 horses here, and every single one of them we know back to front, so it is really sad when we lose the ones that we do, but it is part of having livestock, and you just got to look for the good in that.
Yeah, and there is so much good. You get to meet great people. You're meant to have fun. Yeah. Keep saying about the NZB sales, the weanling sales and the yearling sales. And that's where you have your highs and your lows and expectations and the nerves that you have because you care about it. Like, I've seen you, in tears with a horse that actually sold for good money, but you had your expectations on where he may have ended up. Yeah. And that's the thing. You're invested in the industry, aren't you?
Yeah, and we just want everything to go well for the owners and the clients as well. So, it is. You put a lot on the line to get the horse looking right and looking after them while they're here. Like, some of them just put their horses here and they don't see them for ages. So it's our job to look after them and make sure they're well cared for.
As a person, removed from the racing in a way, although I imagine you watch the races all the time, especially now with your new role, you're going to have to. But we in the racing game, people measure it only on wins, if that makes sense. Like, there's so many more facets of this sport that we should be measuring it on, shouldn't we?
Yeah, definitely. There's so much that goes on to, especially for here, you get a mare and foal and you think, well, yay, that's good, but there's the next step and the next step after that. So there's a lot to get them to the races, and sometimes I think that maybe the breeding people aren't as acknowledged as some of the racing people. So I think that it's really cool that they've given me this opportunity too.
I totally agree, and I think you're a great ambassador. I think Graham did the right thing pushing you forward to have an interview with me 2 or 3 years ago, whenever it was. Time does fly. I don't want to know when it was. And I think hats off to Graham and Alabar. I know it's not just Graham that does it, but putting young people forward and backing you guys. And this year he definitely took a step back, if you like, through the weanling sales. He was definitely there. He was on the microphone. You might have to get on the microphone soon. But he did take that step back and left yourselves, to run it, and I imagine that's because he's got so much faith in you. It's not lazy. He goes, no, this is the direction we need to make, and we need to make young people coming through. And that's the serious part about it. We need so many more young people coming through this sport.
Yeah, definitely. There's not enough young people, and even if it's just to bring your mates along to the races and stuff like that, every little bit helps. And I know I've got quite a few mates that I bring along to the races, and they're actually getting a share in a horse, so that's a lot. yeah.
That's what we actually need, and then the other side of that is how much fun you actually have at the races as well. And not being cheeky, you do. You guys have fun. But we again the same thing. It's all about winning races, but you can have a lot of fun, meet a lot of great people.
Yeah, definitely. I've met so many people through this game, and they're all lovely, and they all want the best for you and encourage you. And yeah, like even the older people, like not just Graham. A lot of people have helped me grow as a person and in my job as well. So yeah, I'm very grateful to the harness racing people, to be honest.
Jamie, well done. Thanks for the chat. The young ones were behind us. They're all running around now and enjoying themselves on a beautiful winter's day. It's pretty down here on a winter's day, isn't it? I might get a bit of a panoramic shot and throw over the top in a minute. It's just an amazing place with the beach along the sides there, isn't it? Yeah,
it's definitely nice when you wake up in the morning and you see this place. It's beautiful.
Yeah, good part of the world to be. Jamie, well done. Good luck. I think you get 10,000 if you win, 2,000 if you don't. But I think you're already a winner. I think no, I mean that. I'm not being sucky or anything along those lines. I think it's a great achievement. 3 people. Like I said, I was at Matamata yesterday, and some of the biggest studs in the world, not just New Zealand. And you're recognised alongside of those. So congratulations.
Thank you so much.